So the Met Office is the National Weather Service for the United Kingdom. We provide public weather service forecasts, but we also provide forecasts and products to government services, to commercial products and a wide range of customers, in fact. So we have a 24/7 operational centre, which is very important for delivering those products. But behind all of that is a large team of research scientists that are constantly developing the model and the applications that we use. We have about 500 scientists at the Met Office, and we not only do weather forecasting but also climate prediction. So we're heavily involved, for example, in the IPCC reports that come out. Very importantly, we realise that there's not enough in terms of the number of scientists who are able to understand or involved in aspects of Earth system modelling, computational modelling and so on. So we work closely with universities in the UK, and also we have a large number of international partners where we try to evaluate and make sure that the model works well in other parts of the world, like Australia, India, South Africa. If I think about the importance of NWP in the UK, I can give you a couple of really important impact areas. So we now run an ensemble of models, not just a one single model, so we can capture the uncertainty of an event. And if we're looking at a strong windstorm or a very heavy rainfall event, and we have a couple of days or 3 days, say, time before the event, then we can talk to the civil contingency services, the fire service, the police and so on, to arrange things, maybe get people from houses or make sure that people are going to be safe. Another important thing that we do in the UK, London Heathrow Airport is one of the busiest airports in the world, but it's affected by fog. And you can imagine that with an aeroplane departing from Heathrow and landing every minute or so, the cost of operations is very high. So if we can forecast fog correctly and let the people, the services know when they can fly an aeroplane out of Heathrow or not, that's going to save millions of pounds on a regular basis. Another important aspect of meteorology, but also linked to wave modelling in the UK, we have these storm surges on the north and east coast of the country, which can inundate villages. In the 1950s, there was a large loss of life when a large storm surge, the water inundated a village on the east coast of the country. And so again, with numerical weather prediction and ensembles, we can get a much better idea of if an event is going to happen like that. And then we can evacuate houses if we need, and we work closely with the emergency services. There are a very wide range of applications and business areas, if you like, that can benefit from this. So one of our partners for modelling with the unified model is the US Air Force. And they run operations in the Middle East with helicopters and are subject to sandstorms, which can be very catastrophic. And you need information about whether a sandstorm is going to come in. That's an application of a weather model. We can include dust and aerosols, for example, in the weather model and get a better idea of whether a big sandstorm event is going to happen. At another extreme, so supermarkets in the United Kingdom want to know when the weather's going to be very good. For example, if you're coming up to a bank holiday weekend, there are going to be high temperatures, then sales of ice cream, lettuce and beef burgers are going to be really important for them. And if we give them a good forecast for that, then they can stock their shelves and make sure there's enough. As a customer, you feel really let down if you go to your favourite supermarket and the beef burgers and the salad is missing for when you come to a warm period of weather, for example. So I think there are some very interesting aspects to this. First of all, we have seen a change with the use of the internet and social media, moving away from classic media channels like television. And so at the Met Office in Exeter, we've set up a digital media team who will provide information, let's say about sporting events, what the weather's going to be like, or maybe a rock festival or something like that, to let people know what's going to happen. Doing that through Facebook and through tweeting and other social media. I was going to show you my app actually, but I've switched it off. The Met Office have an app which you can access on a phone. You can look at the rainfall, for example, over the next 48 hours or so. So if you're a keen walker, for example, like myself, then you can decide whereabouts and when to go on your walk to get the best of the weather. A different way of thinking about engagement with the public and large amounts of data is that traditionally we use radiosondes and satellites and radar to get weather observation information, but actually the public are a great source of weather observation information themselves. Cars, for example, just the rate at which windscreen wipers move can tell you something about the rainfall. And at the Met Office we've set up a weather observations website to enable members of the public to contribute weather observations. So I think that, together with the way that we visualize weather, there's so much information there, and we've set up a new informatics lab at Exeter to look at new ways in which we can get people to visualize weather, not just through traditional ways like looking at two-dimensional imagery on the internet, but also perhaps looking at using a virtual reality goggles to understand how a cloud looks as you move around it, or something like that. So there's so much that we can do with new technologies, and I think the digital economy is really exciting. I'm really excited to be today in Warsaw celebrating the 20th anniversary of ICM's use of the unified model and its background in using operational weather forecasting. And we're working closely with scientists at ICM to evaluate and verify the model. Information, for example, about the climate of Poland, it's a cold continental climate, there's a lot of lakes here. And so the weather conditions are different from those that we'd experience in the UK. So having information about how the model performs is very valuable in helping to understand and improve the model. And not only ICM, but we work with partners all around the world. So we have organisations in India, Australia, South Africa, South Korea, the United States, to try and understand how the weather and climate works in these areas and get the best model that we can. So, and as I said earlier, I think we just don't have the number of scientists and the number of experts in the Met Office to do all of this. You can imagine that there are experts in Poland in certain aspects of cold climate, or maybe there are experts in India about the monsoon, and this just adds to the body of knowledge that we're able to build into the modelling systems.